You didn't choose your lifestyle. It was shaped by fear, silence, and survival. Now you wear it like identity. But are you controlling it, or is it controlling you? This is the art of becoming someone you actually know.
قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها.
Let's begin here with the soul, with Tazkiyah, the inner purification Islam urges us toward. It's not just about rituals or rules. Tazkiyah is a deep cleansing of the self, the ego, the illusions we've inherited or built. And that process of change, of growth, of remembering always begins from within. But how do people actually change? How do we rewrite ourselves when it feels like our flaws are embedded in our skin? According to Adler, a lifestyle is not about clothes, food, or daily routines. It is the psychological pattern through which we view life, respond to others, and treat ourselves. Formed primarily in early childhood, it becomes our internal story, the lens through which you understand who you are and what life means. For example, if you learn early that love is earned, not given, you might adopt a lifestyle where you're always pleasing others, working for validation and afraid of stillness. Your lifestyle is not your identity. It is your strategy for survival, belonging, and significance, which leads us to how and why it was unconsciously formed. Adler introduced a critical idea, teleology, the belief that our behavior is guided not by our past, but by the goals we are trying to reach. This means we aren't stuck because of what happened to us. We are stuck because of the purpose we have assigned to our actions. We often think, I act this way because of my trauma, but Adler flips it. You act this way to achieve something, even if that something is emotional safety, validation, or invisibility. Your inferiority, your overthinking, even your silence, they all serve a hidden goal. I'll give some examples for better understanding. Someone who always jokes around might not just be funny, they might be using humor to avoid being taken seriously, because being serious opens them to criticism. A person who never starts anything might not be lazy, they might be protecting themselves from the pain of failing. Another one who overworks constantly may not just be ambitious, they might believe deep down that their worth comes only from performance. So your lifestyle becomes your long-term map. But instead of asking why I am like this, Adler wants us to ask, why am I doing this? All problems are interpersonal problems. Even when you're alone, you're overreacting to others. What they did, didn't do, might think or may say. Your inner life is shaped by your social experiences. He once said if there were no one else in the world, there would be no problems. Because think about it, if you were the only person on earth, would you care how your nose looks? Would you worry if your voice is too soft or if your laugh is weird? No, because no one would be there to judge or reflect anything back to you. You wouldn't even notice. This is the root of the inferiority complex. We feel less than because we're comparing ourselves, our wounds, our anxieties, our insecurities. They all stem from some imagined or real gaze of another person. Most of our wounds are social. Most of our fear is relational. And from this stems the idea that we are not good enough because we are not someone else. Inferiority is a normal part of life. We all feel small, less, or unworthy at some point. The problem isn't the feeling, it is the story we build around it. Inferiority becomes a complex when we treat it as a result. When we say, I can't be good with people because I have social anxiety, instead of, social anxiety helps me be isolated without guilt. It is like building this symptom that can enable you to have this disease. It is subjective, and sometimes we even use it strategically as a way to avoid risk, escape, pressure, or gain sympathy. Which brings us to the possibility of transformation. We are cradled with shadows that doesn't even belong to us, so it won't be easy, and the path will be hard. Not just because you're unlearning patterns, but because you're not walking alone. You're moving with your own shadows, with Shaitan whispering in the dark, with a world that constantly wants to pull you back to comfort and illusion. But you're not alone in that battle. You have your heart, still soft, you have your Lord, always near, and that makes the difficulty beautiful, because with every step toward clarity, you're walking away from falsehood to a serene sanctuary.
وأحسنوا إن الله يحب المحسنين.
You don't need to erase yourself, you need to redirect your purpose. Instead of seeking validation from others, what if you sought it from Allah? Instead of needing to be liked, what if you needed to be sincere? To be a Muḥsin means to live with ihsan, to do good beautifully as if you see Allah, and if not, knowing He sees you. So your purpose doesn't have to change. Maybe you still want to be seen, to be loved, to be excellent, and that's okay. You just need to shift your audience. It's no longer society, yet its creator, and that changed everything. This isn't about becoming emotionally cold or hyper-disciplined. Being a Muḥsin isn't about being flawless. It's about being sincere in your struggle, your beauty, and your return to Allah. Once you begin this process, you may feel regret. You may look back at who you are, how you reacted, how you tolerated, and feel grief, even disappointed. That's why you need sabr, not passive patience, but graceful, active patience. The kind of sabr that lets you keep walking even when you're not proud of your past. The kind that lets you forgive yourself while striving to be better. The kind that makes you gentle to yourself and to others. And if you feel tired of trying, that's okay too. Even the decision to try again tomorrow is kind of sabr. And with that patience, you ask Allah to purify your heart and heal you gently. Changing your lifestyle isn't about fixing a personality flaw. It's about aligning your soul with your truth. And that requires intention, faith, and patience. You're allowed to change, and not harshly, but beautifully, with mercy, with reflection, and with Allah. So, are you still letting your lifestyle choose you? Or are you finally ready to rewrite it with presence, purpose, and with Allah in mind? This wasn't about self-help, it was about self-return, about remembering that you are not your wounds. If this episode moved you, I've left something for you in the description. A free PDF that maps how Alfred Adler's psychology aligns with Islamic concepts, so you can reflect on it for yourselves. Until next time, be kind to yourself, be soft with your changes, and walk as a Muḥsin, not to be seen, but because Allah already sees you. These was Dandelion Thoughts, where we untangle the self gently and aesthetically.